Good day everyone. Today, now I know there's been some times I haven't been turning up on the videos, but here I am again. Anyway, today another departure from the normal mucking about with a dart is going to make a tool, I hope. So what I'm going to try and make is a gauge that'll find top dead center of the cylinder and then work out a certain degrees past, so that we can do the timing one day on the dart. And I've had these bits and pieces laying around, so I thought I'll get stuck into it and have a bit of a try. A friend of mine's got one. I've seen what they look like, so hopefully I can make something that'll work. No guarantee though, but let's have a crack at it anyway. So here we have the gauge, so that'll work. TMU purchase, a bit of steel, you just saw me cutting up. Now this is a spark plug base. I've taken the center out of it, as you can see, so a pin will go down through it like such into the cylinder. However, obviously this one's not long enough, so what it's going to look like, oh here we go. So we have spark plug, then we have this piece of metal, and then we have the gauge, and then I'm not sure, we'll have a piece of metal that'll come up through that, probably a little flat piece there. This I'll try and make on the lathe. So, and then we'll weld this together. And so the idea is, when this is in, there's your cylinder. Inside you've got your cylinder, and this will screw into the spark plug hole. And this pin will touch the top of the cylinder. So as that moves up and down, the gauge will change, and we'll be able to work out top dead center, and then after that work out, I think it's 15 degrees, we're going to be past top dead center, so yeah, that's another thing we'll work out. But obviously the first thing is to make this gauge. Well, good day everyone. As you would have seen in the first part of this video, I was trying to make this holder for this gauge that I got from Temu. I made this thing here so that that would fit in, which is the base of a spark plug, so it would fit in. The problem I came up against was fitting it into the cylinder. This section here was too wide and it was sort of binding up, so I thought, oh okay, all right, well then I came up with another cunning plan, which was so cunning I can't find it. I used a narrower spark plug base. I've tried troubles getting the electrode out of the middle of it, so I made up a similar sort of bracket to what I had before, i.e. this one, so that this fits in like that. And same sort of problem, it was still catching. Oh, what am I going to do? I just couldn't work out. So I've been doing other projects. As you would have seen, I've done the tyres. And the other night, I must have been thinking about it in my sleep, because I came up with a new plan. I've been so excited, I've got into it, sorry, without videoing it, but this is how far we've got so far. So I decided what I'd use is a bit of tubing. So what I've done is I've notched it, as you can see there, and I've cut a notch in the back there. You see that? Yep. And put a hole up the top of it. Now that is just in case if I want to, you know, put a screwdriver in just to do a last little bit of turning to tighten up. So now I can put this gauge in there. So as you can see, that fits in. I've got a bolt that'll hold it in place there. And I've got the original base that I was playing around with. I've got a nice long nail which I've taken the point off. That fits in there. That'll weld on there. And as that comes up, you can see the gauge will move. So the next thing is to weld this on. I might actually do a little fiddle first, because it's still got a bit of play before the gauge starts moving. So we don't really want that. We want it to be working pretty well. That's top dead centre. Oh no, that's all right. As long as it comes up, we've got to, because what happens, the gauge will go up and down, so that'll work. So what we've got to do is weld that onto there, and that'll job done. So that's the next thing we do. Right, well, as you can see, we've welded that on. Got a slight bend in it now because I'm being a bit silly, and I was trying to put a nice fancy edge on here, and it jammed up a bit and got a bit slightly twisted, but you know, the old blacksmithing skills, I've straightened it out again. So the other thing I did with the nail, I welded a washer on the top just so that there was no problems about the little thing here sort of bypassing it, so it's always going to touch. So let's assemble it, shall we? So let's put that in first. Like that. Now the tricky bit is to get this in. Bear with me while I... Right, that's got that in, so we can see there. So now what's fitting better? Problems. Oh, that's better. There we go. Put that washer in there. What does it need it? Put the bolt or the nut on the back. And there we go.